It's always an honor to be able to sit at the elders' feet to learn, to unlearn, and to relearn. And indeed, it's an honor again to find ourselves having the opportunity to be able to talk to. It's always an honor to be able to sit this very afternoon, and we do not take that for granted at all. We're so excited because in last few days, Pa Odulami clocked 89 years. Woo! Glory to God. We're so grateful to God for that. And so to have you here this afternoon, sir, to be able to teach us, help us to understand. We want to know as much as possible so that we can live a life that is pleasing before the Lord. The last time we were together, you mentioned that one of the very first things we should do is to pray and to believe in God. You told us as a younger generation that we must remember to learn to forgive and let go. And you said so many things, amongst many, which I will not like to say too much tonight, so that we can hear new things from you. So, sir, Pa Odulami, we celebrate you and we celebrate your wonderful wife, Mrs. Ayodele Odulami. So, right now, the question I will have for you, sir, and the very first question is, what do you have to say to this next generation that you think we can learn?
Thank you. I think the first thing is to thank God for our life that He has given us, for the health that He has given us, and also for the people who have surrounded us and given us the comfort of life. So on their behalf, and on my behalf, and on behalf of my wife, my darling wife, we thank God for this grace. It is a blessing, it is a grace, and it is a joy to be here this afternoon. The young generation still has a lot to learn, and by praying to God, honoring God as their first priority, they will be able to go higher, higher, and higher to other levels of life. So I will exhort them to pray, not only in the morning, not only in the afternoon, not only at night, but at all times, always, they should pray. So I will also enjoin this generation and the next coming to have love and respect. What do I mean by love? I mean love that is altruistic, that is agape, that goes to the root of the matter, that can say it has empathy, it has sympathy, and it has caring as well. So those are the issues about love. The other issue is about respect. You must respect the elderly. You must respect your peers. You must respect the young ones as well. It is only by that humility, by that grace, that you yourself will be able to benefit from whatever they have to offer. So love and respect should be a watchword for the new generation. Also, accountability. We must be honest and we must show accountability. We must not say money, money, money. Money is not everything. Money is to buy, money is to spend, but the greatest of it is that it is well spent in giving. And that. So our God and our Father is always giving us in abundance. One will see that is never short of anything. Look at the breath we take. We are never short of it and say, the air is not blowing anymore. The air continues to blow. So the trees too have the benefit of enjoying the air. So we too, we have the benefit of getting the fresh air all the time. So we must also ask the elderly, the old people, how to manage things in case we are at a loss to get a solution to such a thing. Look at, for example, what Mr. Tortoise did. We all know the palm tree. We all know the akeregbe. That is a big vegetable. Yes. So we can look at that and say, oh, but how did the tortoise take it? He said, I'm going to put all the wisdom of this world into this receptacle, into this akeregbe. So he took some time, maybe several years, but he was sure that the receptacle, the ground, was filled up. So the whole thing was filled up. Yes, he was sure. So he said, then around him, a tall palm tree. So with this tall palm tree, he looked up and said, let me go and hide it there so that nobody will have any wisdom left in this world. So what did he do? He put the receptacle in front of him and started trying to mount up to the top of the palm tree. From morning till almost dusk, midnight, nighttime, he couldn't get there. Then an old lady going for the new generation and thinking of the new generation came to the scene, saw the Mr. Tortoise, saw the tall palm tree, and looked at what Tortoise was doing. He was putting the receptacle between himself and the tree. And you know what she said to Tortoise? She said, put the receptacle, the guard, put it behind you, and you'll be able to climb properly. So Tortoise did. And when he reached the top of the palm tree, he looked again and saw the generation movement there and said, wow, there is still one wisdom still left in this world. So if there is still one wisdom left in this world, let me now throw this guard away. So he threw the wisdom that everything in the receptacle scattered. And that is why today you have wisdom. I have wisdom. So we should now all collaborate to use this wisdom for the betterment of our family, for the betterment of our community, and for the world at large. Because it is when this world is at peace that we too can be peaceful in our lives. So Mr. Tortoise was very foolish. He did not use God's wisdom to move on. So we should take an example from that and be able to move forward in whatever we're doing, collaborating and showing sympathy and empathy in all we do. Another aspect that I would like also to emphasize is caring. Caring. We do not care enough. There are many people who are hungry. There are many people who are homeless. There are many people who lack food. There are many people who will even take a pack of biscuits or even one drop of that biscuit and will be satisfied. So we should seek them out, show some concern. So it is only by showing concern that we can live a better life ourselves, so that we can help people to live a better life, so that the world will be God's kingdom as well. So let us look at this aspect of the world itself. When one wakes up in the morning, and it depends on the area you are, in most areas, people will hear the chim-chims, boo-boo-boo, all this of the birds as they sing melodious song, the nightingales, and so on too. So that is the world that the Lord has given us. And sometimes the season is winter, autumn, summer, dry season, wet season. So we must thank God for all this. Look around and you'll be surprised that the Lord is good all the time. If only we too can show our goodness to our neighbors. Don't ask me, who is your neighbor? Well, this question was posted to our Lord at one time. He said, that was a very learned person, great man. He has done this, he has done that. So, and he was asking our Lord Jesus, he said, who is my neighbor? And that gives us the story of the Good Samaritan, of a man who was going on a journey and saw somebody helpless. After the Levite, the priest, and so many people have passed that road, he was robbed and macheted by a robber. He was almost lifeless. So he took him in his cart and took him to the hospital. So at the hospital, he paid and said, when I return, I will give you whatever is due. So that is the story of the Good Samaritan. He gave all he had, and he did not just pass by. So he searched to do good. So we should also learn the story of the Good Samaritan and be able to sympathize and empathize also with people like that. And that also triggers off another story of collaboration. There was a sick person, and Jesus was around at that time, and they didn't know how to reach Jesus. He was able to heal so many people. So he healed them. But to get to in front of Jesus was a difficult thing. But they knew the construction of the house, and they were able to lower the sick person with his table, with his bed in front of Jesus. And Jesus healed the man and looked at those people who brought him and said, you have done a great thing for this man. So may your faith heal thee. And he was healed that moment. So we can now see how the people collaborated, the engineer, the carpenter, the lecturer, everything to bring that palsy man to Jesus. So
Wow. This is fantastic. This is amazing. This is amazing. I like what you said, sir, in terms of we must learn to show love. This generation must learn to show love and affection. And also, we must learn to collaborate. And I like what you also said, sir, that we need to be caring for one another. We need to be grateful. We need to be grateful. And I like the story you gave about the tortoise and the story of the Good Samaritan. These are great thoughts and great ways for us to live a life that is selfless, the selfless life that will impact many others. Yes, thank you so much, sir. These are great content. And I'm sure there'll be one or two people that would like to ask you questions. I'm sure there'll be one or two people that would like to know that how a question came through while you were talking. And the question was, what's the difference between sympathy and empathy? And I think that's the thing we need to find, the difference between sympathy and empathy. And I think it's something that we would like Odulami to answer. I'm not sure if we are having issues with the network. I think there's something to do with the network. I'm not sure. If you can hear me clearly, sir, could you just raise your hand? If you can hear me clearly. Can you hear me at all? If you can hear me, kindly raise your hand, sir. Right.
I don't think so. He's speaking.
Yes, I think there's an issue with the network. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, sir. Even the bit that you have said so far, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's life-changing. I want to thank everyone that has joined us so far. The words that he has spoken to us this afternoon said love, respect. We must be accountable, we must be caring, we must collaborate and be like a good Samaritan. And I want to say thank you, everyone that has joined us today. And God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend, especially today as the world celebrates love. Today, the 14th of February, I want to encourage you to go and show love to somebody. Show love to somebody, encourage somebody